Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Twisdale. Here I'm going to work with you on chapter 4.8, equivalent ratios and graphs. Your objective for today is I can use a graph to represent equivalent ratios. So we'll be applying some of the things we learned from chapter 3 into chapter 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our first example problem. So during a heavy rainstorm, the waters of the Blue River, rose at a steady rate for 8 hours. So when it rains, the river, like how much water was in there, went up because the water obviously went into the river. The graph shows the river's increase in height over time. Use the graph to complete the table of equivalent ratios. How many inches did the river rise in 8 hours? So, taking a look here at our table, in 1 hour, it rose by 3 inches. So if it's the same amount of rain, how much would it be in 2 hours? Well, you can use your patterns to say, well, if it rose 3 inches in 1 hour, it'll rise 3 more inches in the second hour, which would be a total of 6 inches. That was a weird 6 inches. But if you look over here at the chart, or the graph, you can also notice that we have hours on the bottom and inches on the side, on the y coordinate. And at 1 hour, we have 3. At 2 hours, we have 6. At 3 hours, it's not written there, but there would be 9. At 4, we have 12. At 5, this one's not written either, but it would go right there in the line, would be 15. 6, 18. 7's not written in either, but it'd be right there. Come across 21. And at 8 hours, how many inches? 24. So the question was, how many inches did the river rise in the 8 hours? And if we go across to 8 and up to the dot, then come back to the y-axis, it's 24. And if we filled in our table, we would also notice that same pattern. 4 was 12, 6 was 18, and 8 was 24. So the river rose 24 inches in 8 hours. So that's how you use graphs and equivalent ratios. Let's try the next problem. So here, complete the equivalent ratios, complete the table. When it looks like we're doing distance in miles, so 30 miles on 1 gallon of gas. So how many for 2 gallons of gas? How many for 3, 4, and 5? And the question is, how far can the car go on 5 gallons of gas? And then the next part, you want to estimate the amount of gas needed to travel 50 miles. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Okay, so looking at the table, for 2 gallons of gas, it looks like the car would go 60 miles. So I'm going to write that in here. 60. For 3 gallons, it looks like 90, because it's going up by 30 every time. For 4 gallons, we have 120. And for 5 gallons, we have 150. And so, how far can the car go on 5 gallons of gas? 150 miles. Now, obviously, the graph doesn't go all the way out to 50 miles like it does here. But I could take 150 and times it by 10, because 5 times 10 is 50. So I'm just multiplying that by 10, and that would give me 1,500. So it'd be about 1,500 miles to go 50 gallons. That's a long ways. That's like across the country. From here to New York, it's about 1,500 miles. So you need a lot of gasoline to get there. Okay, here's an example problem. So this goes on your note side. So here the graph shows the depth of a submarine over time. Use equivalent ratios to find the number of minutes it will take the submarine to descend 1,600 feet. That word descend means to go down. So let's look at our picture. Looks like we have time on the bottom and how many minutes. And this is how deep the submarine is traveling. So 200 feet, 400 feet. So in one minute, that sub can go 200 feet down. So in 2 minutes, it's at 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200. So the question is how many minutes till it gets to 1,600 feet. So I'm noticing that if I extend this graph out, it looks like we're going up by 200 each time. So let's see if I can pull this graph over here a bit so I have a little bit more room to write on it. So this one would be 1,400 would be the next line, and that would be 7 minutes. And then 1,600 feet would be the next line, and that would be at 8 minutes. So I just had to kind of extend the graph out and still stay on that line to see that it would take about 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go 1,600 feet. Now you could have done this another way. You could have said, well, Mrs. Twisdale, it takes 200 minutes for 1 minute, or 200 feet in 1 minute, so 1,600 divided by 200 is 8 minutes. That would be totally fine to do it that way as well. So that's looking for structure. Whoa. Meaning, what patterns do you see that can help you to solve the problem? And we saw this pattern here, so we were able to look for the structure of the graph. Okay, here's your level 3 try it problem. Go ahead and complete the table and find the unit rate, remember unit means 1, of granola bars in each box. Okay, so looks like here we have boxes and the bars of granola bars. So in one box of granola bars, there are 10 granola bars. So in one box, there's 10 bars. So in here, I want to write in one box, there's 10 bars. In 2 boxes, there's 20. 3 boxes, there's 30. And 4 boxes, there's 40. So what is the unit rate? Whoa, that was a 4. Find the unit rate of granola bars per box. The unit rate is 10 per box. I really don't like that stylus. Is 10 bars in each box. So you could easily figure out how many bars are in like 200 boxes because you know how much is in one box and you just need to be able to multiply. Hopefully you guys got that problem right. That is a level 3, so let's try another challenging. Here's your level 4 try it. Emilio types at a rate of 84 words per minute. He claims, meaning he says he can type a 500-word essay in just 5 minutes. Is Emilio's claim sense or nonsense? Is it true or false? Use a graph to help explain your answer. So here I put a graph. So go ahead and tell me, can he really type 500-word essay in just 5 minutes if he can type 84 words per minute? And then you need to explain your answer. Go ahead and try it on your own. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw on this graph here. I can't remember if they're connected. Nope, they're not. Perfect. Whoa. There we go. Increase the size there. Okay, so Emilio can type in 1 minute. He can type 84 words. So in 2 minutes, I got to do some multiplication over here. He can type 168 words. And that's in 2 minutes. So in 3 minutes, I'm going to add another 84 here. Is that right? 252. Yeah. He can type 252 words. So in 4 minutes, add another 84, 336. He can type 336 minutes. Oops, I'm forgetting my little dots. So in 5 minutes, which is what we're looking at, plus 84, can he type 500 words? Nope. In 5 minutes, he can only type 420 words. So Emilio can't type, me and this iPad are having issues tonight, the essay that fast. He could do it in 6 minutes, because in 6 minutes he'd be at 504 words, right? In 6 minutes. If he knows exactly what he's typing and he can go that fast. Because he can only type 420 words in 5 minutes. Okay, obviously that handwriting is a little messy, but that's your level 4 trait problem. I think the graphs are actually easier than the stuff we were doing on 4.7, but that's all I have for you today, boys and girls. I hope you have an excellent day of learning and that you're ready for your Chapter 4 test.